Hey guys, this is Jack here with How We Roll RV. Today I'm here with Victor the Viking, and we are going to show you guys how to connect a travel trailer to a tow vehicle. Now this can be for any of our travel trailers, and I'll show you here, if Clay, if you don't mind, turn the camera around here. Any of our campers that are down through here, we have our AR1, our R-Pod, we have the Starcraft, Shasta, the Wilderness. Any of them can be connected just like this, but we wanted to use this one as an example. So if you follow me, let me show you how you'll use our tow kits to connect. So the first thing is, when you come to our company to rent, you'll want to make sure that you have a 2-inch receiver, which is just a receiver hitch just like this, and that looks just like this. That's on the back of Clay's truck. You'll also want to be sure that you have a 7-way connector for this type of light connector. Let's see here, that right there can plug into. And on Clay's, that looks just like this right here. He also has a 4-way on his, but really you just need the 7-way with us. So you want to make sure you have those two things. You also want to make sure that any hitches that you have in here, any of the pins need to be removed. We can remove them for you for a fee, but you do want to make sure that you have those pins removed. So as you can see, what we've already done is this is our hitch that we provide for you. It's a 2 5/16 inch ball, and then it also has a sway control ball on the side over here. So what I've done is we went ahead and put the hitch into the receiver and went ahead and put our pin in right down here. So our pin is in, our receiver is in, our hitch is in, and what we did is we went ahead and lined it up with the camper. And what you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that the camper has the wheels chopped on it so the camper doesn't move. And then you want to have somebody spot you to make sure that you can line this up with the ball right here. And then with this right here, you can see this raises and lowers the camper. You just want to have it raised enough, that way the ball fits right under here. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to lower the camper onto the ball. So I'm going to switch this right to here, to this side on this camper. It's different with any camper on the jacks. Some of them have manual, some of them have automatic buttons. This one you just hold right there, flip it there, and it drops down. As soon as it drops down, I'll go ahead and put that in just like that. And then you want to make sure that this locks all the way. So you can see that's unlocked, that is locked. Sometimes it will be like that and you can't get it down. That's when you'll need to pull the tow vehicle forward, and as soon as they do, you should be able to lock it in. Then we're going to take this small pin right here. This is to be able to lock the ball onto this here. It's locked on now, but this is just a safety measure, so that way nothing can get here and unhook that. So you see this will not unhook now. So now that I've done that, you can tow just like this. This is fine. If you have a really big tow vehicle, you shouldn't have to worry about it. But let's just say if I was towing with a smaller truck, or I was going a long distance, you don't want your camper, let's just say this is the camper here, and this is the tow vehicle, this is the camper. If my camper sits on the back of my tow vehicle and it's real heavy, my tow vehicle is going to squat like this. Therefore, on the front, you won't be able to turn as easy. What you want to do is you want to level that out. So what you do to level that out is we use these things called torsion bars. And I'm going to show you how to put those on right now. So what you want to do is you want to lift the tow vehicle with the jack here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it. And we just wait for a second for this to lift the back of the truck up. Let's see, I'll get a nice shot here. So as you can see, the truck and the camper here, this is beginning to lift. You can see the back of the truck beginning to rise right there. It's gone about 3 inches or so since we've been doing this. That should be good right there. And how you can tell is, honestly, I just kind of watch it and see if it's lifted up a little bit. That's how I can tell if it's good enough to put the bars on. So now that that's lifted up, you want to leave it lifted up just like this. And then we're going to take our torsion bars. You have 2 of these. This part is the part that goes into the hitch. This is what goes to the tow vehicle, or to the camper itself. So what we want to do is we want to take this, we're going to come here, and you see this end right here, how it's got a groove. This right here is a place to put this into. So we're going to turn this all the way around backwards and press up real hard and turn. And then to make sure it's locked in, I just give a little loose tension to it. You can see it's not going anywhere. So there's that side. Let's go ahead and do the other side here as well. So we'll take this bar, come to this side of the camper, and do the same process again on this side. So just pressing up. Whoop. Let's see here. Perfect. Now that one is locked in. Now what we do is we are going to take our rod that we have right here, and this right here is made to go to these pieces on the back of the camper I'll show you, and we provide this as well. So if you'll come to this side, you'll see I've got my torsion bar connected. I have our chains. You want to take this bar, put it right here, release the tension by pushing, and pull your pin out. Next, you're going to pull this bar down like that, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to put it on the link that is the most loose, or that I'm able to get it on the easiest. So let's do this one. Hey, you can do this. A lot of people do it like that or whatever. I always take it and I hold it like that so I have some hanging, and then I put that on there, take my bar, and I tighten that up just like that. And then you'll take your charter pin, set that back in there just like that. So now over here on this side, you can see I have two links hanging. So I want to do the same thing on the other side. So let's go over here and take a look here. This here, you want to remove the pin, put the bar on here, lower this, make sure you have two links hanging, so it will be this one here. We're going to put that right there. Take our bar, tension it up, and replace our cotter pin just like that. So now that you have that done, this can be placed right back into the camper or tow vehicle. So I'm going to set that there for now. Now what you do is you'll take this, go ahead, and you can raise your jack all the way up. So I go ahead and put it back to the raised position. Let's take a look at our tow vehicle and see what it's doing here. So as you can see, the tow vehicle is not squatting anymore. If it was squatting a little bit, you can always raise it higher and put a higher link on there. So you'll have more links hanging, and that way it won't be squatting as much. So as you can see, it's completely off the ground now, and that is how it's going to sit. And this looks really good. You want it to be just about even with the tow vehicle. So I'm going to finish letting that raise up. While that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and connect our chains. So you're going to take this chain here, connect it just like that. And we also have this chain here, and you're going to connect it just like that. Now a lot of times if they're too long and they're dragging, you can take your chain and twist it and then connect it back, and it makes it shorter. And then you can also cross them, but I really like to twist them. So that should be good on this. Let's go ahead and turn our jack off. And then you're going to take this right here and press this up just like so. Put your pin in. That way you have clearance here. And all I did was just move that foot up. So once you have that done, it is now time to connect our breakaway cable. Now with the rentals, we're going to have a clip on these. So what you'll do is you will have this, and this will just clip right onto, right next to one of the clips that you have for the chains. And that is, if for some reason the camper was to come disconnected from the tow vehicle, this would pull a sensor right here which would activate the brakes on the camper and would stop it. So that way it wouldn't run into more traffic or anything. But as for right now, I'm just going to connect it right there for now. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is we're going to connect our lights here. So you just take your 7-way connector, you're going to connect them and just press in firmly. So you can do that just like that. So we have our lights connected, chains connected, our tow pin is on, and then we have our torsion bars. Now the last thing that we have, and I don't do this a lot, but this is good. This right here, our setup that we have here, is good for leveling the truck and camper to make sure it's safe going down the road. The other thing is if you're going down the interstate, planning to do interstate travel, I always suggest using this right here. This is a sway bar. A lot of people get confused with torsion bars and sway bars. Torsion bars help level the tow vehicle and the camper. A sway bar keeps the trailer from swaying. So that's what this is right here. So let me show you how to connect this. So I'm going to step over here. And what we're going to do is on this camper, I don't have the sway control put on just yet. But what you would have is on a camper, you would have another little ball that looks just like this on this right here on the camper. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you what I would do. You disconnect the pins right here. You would put this on here and click that cotter pin back in. You would loosen the tension on your sway control arm. And then you would have another ball here where you would remove the pin and then put it on the ball and then connect your pin back. And then you would slightly tension it just a little bit, so that way it has a little bit of tension. So when you're going down the road, as it sways, it has to go through this tension, so it's not going to sway as much. So if it's too tight, you can loosen it. If it's too loose, you can tighten it. And then to release it, you just do vice versa. Release it just like that. So that is how your sway control arm works. Now, the last thing you should know, if you do have a sway control arm on your camper, you will not be able to back up with the sway control arm, as it will bend this. You want to make sure and remove this before you back up. With the torsion bars, that is no problem. You can back up with torsion bars on the camper. But really, that's all there is to connecting this. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or visit our website. Our number is 423-292-2658, and our website is rentalrving.com. Thank you.